Hello, my name is Abigail, but my relatives call me Abby. I thought it would be a good idea to tell my story. I realize that nowadays people criticize everything when it comes to physical appearance. If you also live in a big city, and you manage to be in a class with students who have more money, this becomes quite serious, and I will explain why along the way. I won the Miss Big But award. You wouldn't have expected that? Due to the fact that I always studied well, I ended up going to a very good high school in my town, a high school where usually rich kids went, and I actually fell into a class full of such students. They all had parents full of money, from stars, to businessmen, to politicians. They all had parents with different jobs. It was not my case obviously, because my mother was a saleswoman at a supermarket, and my father worked in construction. Well, all the girls in the class were as if pulled through the ring. They all went to the gym, they all went to massages, they all did I don't know what procedures and looked hot. Not to mention the clothes, because they were all dressed from head to toe in branded clothes. I'm telling you these things so that you can understand the reasons why they took me. Obviously they have no excuse. But you also know that this is how most people think. Since I was little I had a different body shape, and when I grew up this whole thing became even more pronounced. The hip area and rear area was much wider than the rest of the body. If you think about a body shape, I was part of the pear category. The point is that I had a very big butt. Very big compared to the rest of my body, because I had thin legs and a small waist, so you can see that it was a topic of gossip for everyone. Most of the time I was offended. Most of them said I was a duck, because I had a more peculiar gait, and they made all kinds of jokes about my gait and my ass. Plus this whole thing with clothes. How I didn't have money to buy expensive clothes or do certain cosmetic procedures, and it was shown in a certain way that I apparently did not rise to the level of my colleagues, and that is precisely why I was the most tormented there. You got the point. The prom was approaching, and all my colleagues started being nice to me, and telling me that they were sorry for everything they said to me. I took them at their word, especially when one of the most popular girls in my class said that I must definitely come to the ball with them in the gang, as most likely I will also be on stage.
Look, now I want to speak on behalf of everyone. I'm really sorry that I treated you like that. We weren't brought up like that and we got carried away. We understand that you don't have as much as we do, and it's absolutely normal that you can't afford everything we have, and there's nothing wrong with that. On the other hand, people are different, and if you can't afford to buy clothes brand, this doesn't mean that you don't have style or that there is something wrong with you. Anyway, I lose myself too much in the details. I mean, I really wish you would come to prom with us, and look, please let me take your clothes, you'll be a princess. Everyone will turn their heads after you. I really want to apologize for what I did, and I think this is the best opportunity to show you that I'm sorry.
I'm glad you realize when you're wrong. It's just that it's not about money or style. I'm a normal person. I'm not into fashion, so I don't see why I should dress stylishly. I dress myself, and I think most people are like that. Like I said, it's not necessarily about money. There are people who have money and don't dress in brand clothes, because they're not passionate about fashion, and I don't have any interest in this field. For me, money is a problem, but it has nothing to do with clothes. I really wish we had more for my family so my parents wouldn't have to struggle, but I don't want to get into that. I'm glad you realized that people shouldn't be judged by their clothes, money and body, because it really hurt me when you made fun of me and my body.
I'm ashamed of what I did and said. You have a special body, really. But I tell you honestly that if you lose a little more weight or go to the gym, everything will definitely be resolved quickly. Anyway, as I said, our parents didn't learn like this and we were wrong. So please accept my proposal and come with us to the prom and let me make you an outfit. I know it's not important to you, but it's my way of asking sorry. It matters to me.
Okay, I'll think about it. Know that this thing with the gym and the diet doesn't work for me. I mean, where can I lose weight? That's my body shape. I'm very thin. I have a small waist, very thin legs, and there's nothing I can do. I've been on a diet, and I've only lost weight in areas where I was thin anyway, so I think it's best to accept my body as it is, and I don't think that should be anyone else's problem. Honestly, I was very happy because many times I wanted to stop going to school because of them, and now that she was being nice to me I was in the ninth heaven. As if everything had started to go well, the day of the prom had come and I decided to go to this colleague's house. She prepared an outfit for me, and I really wanted to go with her dressed like that. Since I tried it on I didn't feel good, as if it accentuated all my flaws even more, as if I looked like a clown. But I'm not good at fashion and stuff like that, so I thought maybe she knows better, Maybe the dress actually looks good and I'm wrong, and anyway I would have felt stupid telling her I didn't like her, so I accepted and go to the prom. At the prom everyone knew each other. This girl's brother was the boy who spoke on stage and announced what and how. I don't really like such events, so I don't really know how things unfolded, but at one point I heard my name. I was called on stage by that boy. I was ashamed to go. I didn't know what was going on. Like I said, I knew absolutely nothing because I never cared how things work. I usually didn't go to events like that. They all pushed me from behind to go on stage, and suddenly they told me there when I went up that I won the title of Miss Big Butt. Of course they expressed it differently, but I don't want to speak badly. The whole hall actually started laughing at me. I was facing the blocked stage with a big placard in my hand that said Miss Big Butt. I didn't know what to do. I started to cry, and luckily a teacher came and stopped everything and took me from there. On Monday, I didn't even want to go to school. I felt humiliated. I knew that everyone would make fun of me, and I wanted to avoid that, but my mother convinced me to go. She talked to the principal, and in the end they agreed that something needs to be done. She just downgraded those who planned it all. But you know, I haven't escaped their bad jokes. There were also recordings and pictures from there. And they made sure I was struggling. You're probably wondering how I got over all this. On them I learned to love myself. I learned to love my body as it is, and from that moment no comment about my body affected me anymore. Of course nothing had happened overnight, but little by little I realized that I am absolutely normal too. The problem is them. So if you also go through such things and someone at school makes fun of you because of your clothes, body, or anything else, don't pay attention to them. As I said, if they have a problem with you, then the problem is with them.